The next two outstanding football men, they actually played together on the same team. But they don't know it. The only reason they're inducted is because they're older than I am. They may be the only two guys in the room. This next inductee, he was a three-sport athlete in New Dorp: baseball, basketball, and football. Now, in those days, when you say three-sport athlete, I think there were only three sports. Am I right, Angelo?
Yeah.
Baseball, basketball, and football. He was a blocking back and linebacker, and he received all city honors in his senior season. Was called by Coach Soma because of his. He was called by Coach Soma because of his blocking and ball handling, the perfect two-back in the single wing. I just thought of something. Wait a minute, you were the blocking back, and Pete was the running back. Now he's only here because you blocked for him, right? Pete, you realize that, right? He did all the hard work and you scored all the touchdowns. It's great. Anyway, to make the presentation to Angelo Coscia is Coach Milton.
When I played football at New Dorp, my two brothers, Joe Coscia and Dewey Coscia, were outstanding baseball players, and Joe was an outstanding basketball player besides. But my mother and father wouldn't let them play football. They were afraid of getting hurt. So they forced my mother and father to let me play. And I was happy they did. And I enjoyed it very much. I was the captain of the football team in 1953. And Joe Barisi was the captain after me, and Frank Marone was the captain before me. At that time in New Dorp, the captain was symbolized as the key to the team, and I felt I was pretty lucky to be elected by my teammates to be captain of the 53 team. But we did very well. We had good seasons, and a lot of the people that played with me are here tonight. Charlie Canizaro was on our team, and a few of Donnie Rizzo is here. I haven't seen everyone, but they were some of the players that were on the team with me, and like I say, I enjoyed it very much. My sister was asking me before the event here, she said, "You got a speech prepared?" And I said, "A speech? I gotta make a speech?" So that's why I'm not ready to make a speech, but I just and I don't want to take up too much time, but thank you for electing me to the Hall of Fame, and I'm very proud.
What a pleasure it is to speak to one of the inductees into the New Dorp High School Football Hall of Fame, Angelo Coscia. It's wonderful to see you again, sir. How are you?
Great, great, great.
Now, in case that last name sounds familiar, it should, because you happen to be the father of Fred Coscia, who's the mastermind behind Fred's Interesting Topics. And Who Do You Like TV?
Oh, yeah, I know. He's got a lot of shows on CTV, and I enjoy watching them, and I'm glad he likes it. And CTV, he's able to get his show out there and let people see what he can do.
And by the way, Fred's kind of reunited with me tonight because he's actually behind the camera helping to film this. So I want to give a big shout out to my dear friend, Freddie Coscia, one of my very first co-hosts on the show. It's been great to see him again. What does this night mean to you?
Oh, I'm very proud. It took me a long time. I'm 77 years old now. But Pete DeVito, who was inducted with me, is very proud to be someone that was on my team that was as popular as he was. He got a 4-year scholarship to Notre Dame when we graduated college because of his academic skills and his football skills. But at that time, Notre Dame was loaded with quarterbacks, and he didn't do very well in the quarterback end of it, but he still had his scholarship for football. But it was nice meeting up with him again, and he was very good in the business world. He did very well.
You were in so many big games with the Centrals back in the day. Does one game stand out among all the others?
Yeah, well, the Curtis, at that time we played at Wiseglass Stadium, it was called, on the other side of the island near the old ferry that went to Jersey. That game was the Thanksgiving Day game, and that was my final game, and I thought that I played my best game in that game, but and they used to give a trophy out for the MVP of that game. It was the only time that football drew a crowd on Staten Island. That Wiseglass game drew about 10,000 people, which was unusual for Staten Island. But I was beaten out by one of my teammates for the MVP, and well, I was glad it was one of our team anyway. But that was a big award, and like I say, I enjoyed playing that game, which was my last game.
The Curtis rivalry is one of the oldest, if not the oldest, rivalries here on Staten Island. What is it about that rivalry that has been so intense and have made the game so special?
Well, at that time, Barberi and Sal Soma, Barberi was the coach of Curtis High School, they were teammates at NYU when they had a championship team. So they were very competitive with each other, and they were two great coaches. So that game was always very competitive, and we really, both coaches, you know, even though they were friends with each other, wanted to win very badly, wanted to beat the other one.
Do you still follow the Centrals at all?
No, I've seen a couple of games, but I've gotten away from it. The principal who talked tonight at the ceremony is very, very good. She turned around New Dorp High School, and I heard her talk when she first came in about, I guess it's 10 years maybe. When I heard her talk, at that time New Dorp High School was going downhill when they moved over to the new high school. And when I heard her talk, I says, this principal is going to revive this school. Just the speech that she made and what her plans were and everything. And after listening to what she's done to the school and what she's done for the students and everything, and even what she did in Hurricane Sandy and helping a lot of people helping them through the New Dorp High School, I was happy to hear that I was right, that she is one of the best principals I've ever seen.
Well, Mr. Coscia, it was so great to see you again. Congratulations on the honor, and good luck to you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
This is you.